Um, hey, good morning. We are here. What's your name, bro?
I'm Don.
Don, you're the owner.
Yep.
Yeah, like a longtime proprietor.
I've had to play 15 years.
15 years,
Yeah.
and we're getting our hair cut at Style Masters on McHenry today.
Hey, the Lord's coming. Hey.
We got a scout off.
That is awesome.
That's on most all these bigger ones now.
Well, I worked for Mr. Irwin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He does tie dye university out there at his mini mansion. It used to be a full blown mansion, but it caught fire. Yeah, Yeah, he was over here at the feed store on McHenry when he saw the fire. And he was like, dude, I know exactly what that is. Well, because he had like a whole room of tie dye. And the fire had started like kind of next to that room.
Yeah.
He was steam cleaning his carpet and left the thing, it shorted out or something. And he didn't think anything of it. But the house was so old that in the wall the fire had just fused. And so yeah. That's a crazy story. I've worked off and on for that guy for going on 20 years.
Oh yeah.
And watched him change and morph. We did some comedy shows over at the Almond Pavilion and during Chocolate Festival time. Seemed like a smart thing at the time. But so part of the reason I really wanted to, not only because I wanted to get to know you, because I felt bad that I've never been in this barber shop in the 32 years I've been alive. But I saw your sign of Jefferson, and that like really piqued my interest.
Really,
because I don't know the territory. I see it a lot whenever I'm like up in Sacramento.
North of Sacramento is
Yeah.
real big, yeah. And they've been talking about it up there since like in the 40s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been trying to do it for a long time. World War II actually kind of put it on hold.
So now is that why you're jumping on? I see you're a mature fellow.
Yeah.
Were you just kind of like born into it? You're like, well, Mom always said.
Well, no, I do have some family up there. But no, I like the idea of get a little more local representation for the Central Valley.
For sure.
Because we don't have any, in Sacramento, we don't have any real representation for the people in the valley. It's all
big city thoughts.
Big city stuff that's running all the stuff. And the concerns and problems they have over there really don't make a bit of difference to us over here.
Right.
The traffic is not like their problem with traffic.
Big time, yeah.
And the housing thing, we don't have the problems as bad as they have.
Well, we're definitely getting to that traffic states.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I've noticed, 'cause I've lived in LA a couple of times, and, it's something that you just have to learn to live with out there.
Yeah.
But dude, like Ripon makes me want to blow my brains out every day.
Yeah.
I have to drive through there every day, twice a day. Leaving. It doesn't matter if you leave at 4 a.m. There's somebody that got into a fender bender on the side of the freeway, or everybody's looking at a construction guy. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a reason. Anyways. So back to Jefferson. I could tangent way out. I'm trying to stay focused on this Jefferson thing because it does interest me. Because I make fun of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the. As much as I like the orchards out there where the Dunkards live, at the same time, like we've got to grow somehow.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of we could grow upwards. We could grow into the sky. Like to quote my friend, he's a comedian, Shane Murphy. He said, "Spider-Man pretty much just does circles in Modesto. Like he's not saving anybody that isn't within a block of the DoubleTree." And I remember even when the Damrell building was the biggest building for a while. That was like, wow, we got a 5-story building that isn't a parking garage. And then the Merrill Lynch building, popped up. But still, those are baby buildings compared to how far Stockton's even grown upwards.
Yeah.
And they suck. Like they're going through it. But so now with Jefferson, so in the 40s, whenever they were, it was just basically like farmer kind of mentality, or
a lot of the timber and the farming and that type of interest, the natural resources, mining and things like that, because they were, I guess, now back then I really am not sure how strictly stuff was, was regulated like it is now, but that's a big part of it now. Is there?
Back then you just called your congressman if you had his direct number and you said, "Dude, I need some more Mexicans."
Yeah,
and then they go, "Okay, let me get the paperwork."
Yeah, But there's so many problems with using the natural resources up there. They're not letting them use it, so you get your unemployment is crazy. And that stuff could be fixed by redoing some of the regulations, coming down that the CQ, the Environmental Protection Act, kind of break it down, back it off a little bit. Some of those things are just too over the top restrictive,
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I like about it, is it kind of
gives us a voice.
Yeah, it gives us a voice, exactly,
Yeah. So now that's one little part of California that wants to be its own state. Now, I don't know if it's the millennials are making shit go awry, because now it looks like they're talking like 7 states.
There was one that had 6 and another one that had 3.
Okay. Yeah. So I was close. I did, I try not to pay too much attention to all, because it's going to change next week anyways.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It's like everybody always tries to ask me my schedule. I go, I'll tell you my schedule today. But because I tell you, you're going to throw it off in the universe. Like I can't help you there. So now you're some of your folks are from up north?
My wife has an uncle that lives up there.
Oh, okay.
I've got some friends. I used to spend a lot of time up there.
But you're like longtime Modesto native?
I've been in Modesto 25 years. I was born and raised over in the Bay Area in San Jose.
Okay, but 25 years, you've seen some stuff.
Yeah,
you've seen a few things change.
Some changes. Yeah.
What are some of the buildings that you miss?
Oh God, the buildings.
I mean, I'll tell you a couple of mine because I'm born and raised here. So you actually, now I'm going to bring up a building you probably won't even know.
Yeah.
It was the El Capitan over here at. It was actually on Stanford, Sylvan, McHenry corner where the county bank is now.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a little like a Swedish roof, almost like a Wiener Schnitzel looking bar. It was a blue roof bar, and it was dark. And I just kept looking forward to drinking there when I was a
When you
kid.
get old enough.
And then they demolished the place, somewhat time in the early 80s. They turned it into nothing. And then the county bank came in. But
I didn't know that place.
But yeah, what about like the rise of Safeway? You were here for that.
Well, yeah.
Do you shop at Safeway?
Yeah.
It's right across the street.
Yeah, I remember before Safeway came around, yeah.
What about the Briggsmore 7 Theater across the street here?
I remember when that was there, yeah.
Did you go see Star Wars when it came back?
No. I saw Jurassic Park there.
Okay. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I was on acid, and I took my parents to see the Santa Claus because we were fighting. I was like 19, and I was listening to the Beastie Boys, and they have this song about getting positive, y'all. And I was like, and I had dropped a dose of acid, thinking I was going to go, through my own head that day. And instead, I started crying, and I was like, I'm going to go take my parents to a movie, And so I did. I showed up, and I asked my mom weird worldly questions like, why is the world so messed up? And she was just like giving me Granny Goose answers, and I was on acid, so it was just like awesome. I was like, it doesn't get any better at 19. Whenever you can just cry into your mom's boobs to ask her some, stupid questions. And she was probably just like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this kid? But yeah, we went to the Santa Claus, and that was horrible because, Tim the Toolman Taylor turns into Santa Claus. Oh my God. I pretty much watched myself age. I was like 100 when I came out of that movie. So now, dude, you got some pretty impressive dead animals behind us. I really like the deer is beautiful. I'm guessing that you killed all these guys.
Yeah, they're all.
Where do you get a bear?
He came from up by Yosemite.
Really?
Yeah, right near Cherry Lake, man. Immigrant Wilderness up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now now I know kind of a little because my grandfather was a big deer hunter, and all I did was go aim at shit with him. Yeah, like we more. I more remember. It's funny too because this time of year you start seeing the cores of wood on the side of the road as the Parks and Rec people or whatever are clearing up stuff, and that's what we used to do. He would go out with his permits and we would load up. Get the firewood, and then he would go let it season, which now I know is a thing. Yeah. At first I thought he was just lazy. Yeah, let it sit there. We'll chop it later. And then that was like a thing. Like we just wake up at like 6 a.m. on a Sunday or Saturday, and my grandfather would be out there in his suspenders and a t-shirt chopping wood with a wedge. No chainsaw, just butchering those blocks. So I know some of the regulations on deer. That they have to have a certain amount of points,
right?
And no females, no shooting from driving, or from vehicles, even if the shot's clean. Stuff like that. I haven't gone hunting into my adult life yet, but I've been for ride-alongs. Now, because that bear, I mean, he's about Smokey size.
He was a little about 250, 260 pounds.
But I mean, is there any regulate? I mean,
for size?
Yeah. Or is it an age? Or
no sows with cubs, and Eddie has to be over 50 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you? I mean, so now is this a boy or a girl?
You can take either sex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just this didn't have any cubs.
Can't have the cubs with it. Yeah, no sows with cubs.
Okay.
And any of the smaller, little ones got to be over 50 pounds. That's the only.
Okay.
You can take either sex.
Wow. Take them out.
Yeah, bear series. He usually runs.
Now, this one, did you get to yell, "He's coming right at me!" right before you shoot it? That kitty cat looks like he could have ripped your face off.
Yeah. Cool little one, yeah. Yeah, I got him down near the pinnacles. down south of Hollister.
Okay.
By the coast towards Salinas.
Yeah, I go that way once in a while. Go out to Watsonville and stuff.
That's where the pig came from. Got a ranch down there that we hunt on.
Oh, okay. And the hog?
Yeah, that's where he came from too.
Oh, okay. Man, that's a good variety out there then.
Yeah,
Huh?
we got turkeys, pigs, deer. That's the main thing. Quail, doves.
Dude, we should do like a Joe Rogan hunting podcast. You could take me out on my first man hunt.
Really,
I'd be like, me and Don, we really bonded. He took me out to his ranch. A boar came right at me. I had this friend in school. She was, she came around second grade, and she always had the weird pets. She had the tarantula, or she had the black widow in a jar or whatever. And when she got older and she got her own place, she bought her own house because she was smart like that. She did that right away. And she had a pig.
Oh, yeah.
A giant potbelly pig with tusks in her backyard.
And,
18, 19 years old, or your friend owns a house with a pig.
Yeah.
You get drunk and you go over and slap the pig on the ass, And that thing it's just so weird when you have something like that in captivity, but you're trying to give it that feral life, because it had its own weird pig trails in the yard. It was like a bad pit bull owner. They had no lawnmower, so the pig was in charge of the whole yard, and it just paced the edges, and and it had tusks, so it came at you. You knew, like you were like, oh shit. You try to put your hand down and catch the nose, before the teeth get you. Oh my god, so scary. But I let a lot of things attack me. I worked for my brother-in-law for a little bit up in Lodi, and we would go to this dude's house and drink tequila shots, and he'd go, "Oh, go let that turkey bite your hand." He had this giant. It was the turkey was as big as that bear.
Yeah,
and that thing would latch onto the flap of my thumb. Oh my god, dude! But I was drunk, so I didn't care. I thought it was hilarious. Look at you. Biting me. You're doing nothing. I don't know. Geese and duck are a little bit meaner.
Yeah,
when they
geese
bite.
are mean.
They can really get you.
They hurt. Them wings will hurt you.
Yeah, that too. So what else? What else have you seen out here, man? 25 years on McHenry, dude. I mean, you've seen Cruising Wave.
Yeah,
you saw that.
They were cruising still when I first moved over here. Yeah, going on for a few years. That was kind of fun.
You do cars or anything?
Not a whole lot.
You got the whole tropical shirt going too.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like you're definitely you're feeling your own age there, man.
I'm on the.
At least you're not showing up to work in flip flops yet.
Yeah, no, that's a couple more years.
Couple more years. Man, so one of the sponsors of my show is Max Muscle, and these two gals come in and they're looking at water bottles or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, we were going to go to Trader Joe's, but we thought we'd come here." And the owner was waiting on them, and he's like, "So you guys have never been here?" And they're like, "No." And he goes, "Well, I'm Brian, the owner." I sound just like him. I'm Brian. And I go, "That's Brian, the owner." And the security guard was there, and I go, "And this is the Indian security guard, and I'm the white comedian." And I go, "And this is the ripped old guy." And this guy was like 70 and just yoked, and he had like garden hoses for veins, you know what I mean? And I was just like, and I said, "I hope I'm not offending you, but you look mature enough. I can call you the buffed old guy, you know." And he was like, "Yeah, dude."
How's that like looking at?
Can we go a little shorter? Because it's going to be like 2 weeks. I mean, I'll probably still come in for a touch up.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a
easy.
Right. Go a little longer up here, though. I don't know what you.
40 years and I still haven't figured it out, man. I don't know.
Hey, that could be a thing though. If you stick around long enough, Tesla will come out with a hair grower.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Hey, so what do you think of that guy?
What?
Yeah.
He's a trip, man.
Yeah.
I tell you, he's got some crazy ideas, but he makes them work, man. And,
Well, he just doesn't care.
yeah.
He doesn't care
I
about the word no.
With the SEC the other day, that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
When they kicked him off out of the CEO position.
Well, he kind of wanted that, though.
I think so.
He was talking crazy anyways.
Yeah.
And then smoking weed with Rogan and all that shit. Like, he was kind of pushing the buttons to see what they were going to do. Yeah. But who knows? He still might take it private. He could just jerk the rug out from under everybody. Nah, I don't want to do this with you guys anymore. You're ruining my fun.
Yeah.
You see that flamethrower he's got?
Yeah.
That thing, it's not a flamethrower.
Yeah.
But it's good. So now, everybody's talking midterms. I don't vote, but I do enjoy Trump. Like I like it. I like.
In your line of work, you can't help but
Well, not even that. To me, that seems for a comedian. That's just too easy. Like doing political jokes has never been my thing, other than to somehow push the buttons of whoever's in the room that thinks opposite of me. Right. But I have kind of that Archie Bunker, Don Rickles perspective of things. So I'm a little cruder and like, a lot of people think that I like stuff for the wrong reasons. Like whenever I say, oh, I like Trump, they're like, he's like one of me. Or they're like, he's a fascist. And I'm just like, no, that's the first president we've ever had that had his own board game 20 years before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's pretty much the Monopoly guy.
Yeah.
How can you be mad at him? But like, I lived in LA for a while, and so, it's not like I'm like easily moldable, but I do like to try to understand everybody's viewpoint. Right. But like now it's getting to the point where I'm starting to get angry at the whole Hollywood thing again. I kind of go in waves where I'm like Hollywood, you're a little too whatever you're doing right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, if I watch too much YouTube, I could be convinced of almost anything except for the Earth being flat. That's about the only thing. Yeah. Like the moon landing, maybe Kubrick filmed that shit. Maybe we couldn't get a good enough footage, and they're like, "Dude, this footage sucks. Let's reenact it."
Let's go back.
Nowadays nobody cares about reenactments, even on Ghost Hunters. You know what I'm saying? They got the footage, but they're like, "Nah, this footage sucks. Let's get a skinnier actor to come in and be me." Yeah. And I don't know, like they just, this Roseanne thing.
Oh God, yeah.
She was just, she finally came on Joe Rogan, and I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. A lot of the millennials and like my daughter's friends, they look at me and they're like, "You listen to Joe Rogan, don't you?" yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't even need to talk to you. I hate you. You're a meathead. But it's just like with a lot of these, with just a lot of the people's positions, it's like people are so quick to dogpile. I mean, back in the day. It's almost the equivalent to the communists, the red hunt, the blacklisting. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're doing, but they're doing it on this weird, like, oh, you don't like the gays? Oh, you're out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it used to be like, dude, do you like communism? You think Stalin's a good guy? You're out. Yeah. Like okay. But now everybody's a Stalinist. Yeah. Now they don't seem to care about that. Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, but man, if you're not with us, you're against us, and you're out.
Yeah, they don't want to compromise is a dirty word back there anymore.
Dude, but even like John Goodman, I just saw a clip of him on Jimmy Kimmel. And you could tell John's trying to be like lighthearted about it, but Kimmel keeps bringing it up. And so he's just like, well, yeah, but that's just Roseanne. And he's like kind of like trying to be like, she's my friend, whatever. It's it's a misunderstanding. But Kimmel's just like, burn the witch, burn her. Like he
wouldn't give it up.
I hate her. She fucked up. Like, oh man. Well, dude, I appreciate that. I mean, you did warn me beforehand. You're like, I don't know anything about Jefferson, but you know more than me. Like, I was just, to me, it just seemed like a crazy mountain person idea.
Yeah.
You're like, I want my own place.
I know they're trying to get it. It's down. They've already got I guess, somewhat of a constitution kind of written up. They had a court case going to just see how, if it was able to go forward and move forward with it. And they've talked to people up in Calaveras County and Amador County, Tuolumne County. They're all signed up and on board on it.
Huh.
And so, it
might happen.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't know. Hey, I remember whenever they were saying that pot would never be legalized, and it's like like the thing is it's kind of like introducing aliens to the culture. You know what I mean? They're like, we can't do it at once. We got to do it in little pieces.
Today's a big day in Canada.
Oh
yeah, they legalized it nationwide.
Oh yeah, but bro. You got even a traffic ticket. You're not going to Canada.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
no
kidding.
I for the weed thing, the guy that I won the High Time Award with, Real One. Mm-hmm. We had our own show in Toronto.
Oh, really?
Because we did a song called "It's Just a Plant," and it's basically him kicking knowledge about how the hemp industry, that whole thing about how the government blackballed it because it didn't work into their equation at that time. And, well, if you want to get raped by black people, smoke marijuana, that's what they did, basically. And so this whole song is about that. Well, there's also a book where it's like a children's book called It's Just a Plant. But this was actually, they might have been integrating us both for all I know. But they were like, dude, you guys are the headlining act. Because, really, a children's book cannot headline the act. So I could, I was going through child support issues. I still am. And my kid's 20. Yeah. But it's a different kind of support now.
Yeah, right.
But no, I was supposed to go, but I was like, dude, I can't get the money together, and I don't even want to risk going to Canada because I have a couple of dings on my on my record. Yeah. And he's just like, oh well, I guess I'll go by myself. So he dresses kind of like a FUBU gangster, he's like that white urban guy. Yeah. But so he dressed down. He tried to dress like a cowboy, and he wore cowboy boots and all black button up, and he probably looked like a stiff shirt because he doesn't know how to dress. And he got all the way there, and they started pulling, and he had 2 suitcases of T-shirts and CDs and swag, all the stuff that we would be selling at our merch booth. Yeah. And they were like, we don't need this shit here. And you have a felony on your record. So if you don't get on the next plane and leave our country right now, we're going to arrest you. And he's like, dude, you just pulled all my shit out of my luggage, and now you're like, leave the country. And so, he hit me up, and he's like, dude, you're lucky you didn't even try and go. Wow. Because they did not let me in. And I was like, I already kind of knew that, but now I know it's the real deal. Yeah. I think I might be able to go to what's the waterfall? On a boat. American coming over.
No, they won't let you off the boat.
Yeah, they're like, no, we got your record right here. You're a dick. You can't get off the boat. Yeah. Really? Speeding? 7 speeding tickets? Well, man, thank you so much for talking on the podcast, and come down and see Style Masters. It's Don Moss, and he's over here right next to Superheroes. Yeah, if you not the comic book store so much, but the
good sandwiches.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I always thought that was weird that the DC comic store is next to a place called Superheroes, and I don't think that Superheroes meant to do that either.
No, I don't think so.
Because it's for the white guys, it's Giros. Thanks again, man.
Amen.
Death of the Undertaker, remembering Jay Smith, bitch. Featuring the memories of Jason Russler, Dr. Stryker, Kyle Barker, Slam Yates, October 26th.
A smoke alarm can save your life, but not if it's silent. Over 60% of fire fatalities and countless injuries happen when smoke alarms are installed but fail to work. Sometimes when Buck Stallion smokes, he sets them off and stuff. That sucks. But he always makes sure if he takes the batteries out to Chong, he puts them back in when he's done. Remember, only working smoke alarms save lives. So sound the alarm to your family and friends. A silent smoke alarm may be the last thing they never hear. Brought to you by Buck Stallion's Holistic Emporium and GreenShopDelivery.com. Buck and pals and all their fascinating friends and mysterious enemies in the super scientific century.
My man!
Good morning. It's the Wake and Bake. I'm Buck Stallion. And, I don't know. You know, rape is never a funny thing. I know lots of rape victims. But for what's going on in the news right now is some chick is accusing some dude of rape. Now, I understand, like, the dude is supposed to be a superior court judge. Seriously? Like, everybody wants to act like they're all ethical now? All of a sudden, we got ethical judges? I know that, like, when a scandal comes out, we're all in upheaval and we're like, yeah, down with that guy. He's a piece of shit. You know? But let's let him be a superior court justice. Let's let him fuck up, and then we'll get him. Let's not try and nab him for something that happened 20 years ago when you were drunk in college or having beers. I mean, I'm not even that invested in this whole machine, so. But, you know, it's like I posted this picture on Instagram of the alleged victim in this story, in this week's fucking melodrama of government. And yeah, I just thought it was funny because it was like, I don't really remember, but I will never forget, you know. And I just thought it was funny because this bitch is hella ugly. And, you know, I think in Jersey Shore they'd call that person a grenade. You know, you gotta jump on a grenade to save the rest of the crew. And I think that that's who this chick was. I think she was just some fucking grenade that was, you know, hey, just looking for somebody that's maybe had sex with this guy, and we can, you know, or maybe they never even had sex. That's where we're at these days. Is they still haven't decided how to punish the liars, you know, and that's interesting. I mean, you know, I've been on both sides. I've been on the side where this gal that was making sushi over on the east side of town, like, I always thought I wanted to hook up with her. And then we hooked up. And then I found out she had been with my manager, because I sold cars at the time. And it was one of those things where it's like, man, I wish somebody would have said something earlier. I would have known that was his ex-girlfriend. You know, because I probably wouldn't have fucked with her. But she was so pretty. And you know, the thing is like, as soon as you have sex, reality clicks in for some reason. Like, everything's in this passionate moment, and then you're done, and then you're like in this awkwardness. And me and this girl hooked up, and then immediately after, like as soon as we were done, she sat up and said, I don't normally do stuff like this. Get in the back. Or sit down right there in the middle. Sit in the middle. No, no, no. Don't stand on my flowers. No, no! Get off of my plants! Stupid son of a bitch. Get in the back. Get off my fucking plants. Get in the back. Dude, get off my plants! Oh my god, dude, you're so stupid. Sorry. My dog was stepping on my
Some
plants.
fighters today are amazing at doing that.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, as soon as we were done doing what we were doing, she gets up and she's like, I never do that. I'm so embarrassed. I never do that. I never sleep with somebody on the first date. And I'm just like,